So hello everyone, and welcome back to GraceNicoleMyths Astrology and Tarot. We are here today for the new moon in Scorpio Phoenix Rising themed secret code name event. For those of you who do not know what secret code name readings are or are not familiar with them and are new to the channel, secret code names are purchased by individuals via my Etsy shop. And when they do that, they are given a secret code name for whichever event they purchased a secret code name for. They know during the event that that secret code name is their personal reading pertaining to the energies going on right now. All right. For everybody else, the beauty of these readings, the fact that they're public and everything, is so that people can resonate to or be drawn to a secret code name. Because if you're drawn to one or you resonate to one stands out to you, you don't know why, you feel like you have to click it. There's most likely a message in here for you in divine time whenever it crosses your path, because time is fluid. It works in a spiral, kind of like a clock, you know what I mean? So this energy may be very relevant in the present day for some people, and it may be very relevant on the spiral of things to you if you catch it at a different time, okay? So whatever it is that brought you to these messages today, whether you purchased one yourself or whether you have been drawn to one, I do have faith that they will help you in your pursuit of this Phoenix rising energy that we are going to be discussing today. The whole point of these readings with this new moon, this solar eclipse, right? The solar eclipse, new moon in Scorpio, is to get you out of what is essentially the ashes phase, where you have let your old self go and are now lighting up and becoming fired up and strengthened in this new energy, right? This new vibration that you're in, especially when we have trails of the old trying to creep back in, okay? So for today, I'm using my Hermetic Tarot. I'm also using my Alchemy of England Tarot. And then I'm using 3 decks that I created, okay? I'm using my Divine Conversations deck. These cards are messages from Spirit. So if you've been going through the experience and Spirit's been trying to talk to you in the divine mirror of things and you've missed the message, the intention creating this deck is that Spirit gets the message to you crystal clear, that you're no longer missing it. All right, so we're going to have a divine conversation between you and Spirit. I am also using my energy alignment deck. There are light attributes and light energies on one side, and then there are shadow energies or shadow attributes on the other side. Okay, so I will be using this deck to get an idea of where your energy is coming from and where it's moving into. And then I will be using a hand-drawn deck that I've been working on. I've been adding cards to it every day. Spirit's been guiding me to these. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to work with these cards. They've been fun so far. They've been a lot of fun so far. And we're going to get some themed energy because each of these cards does in fact have an energetic vibration or imprint to it. Okay, so with that said, we are going to be getting into these messages. Thank you all for showing up, not just for me and the channel, but for yourselves. And special thank you to all of those who actually purchased the secret code names and make these events possible for everyone. And just in case you are interested in a secret code name in the future, please know that all of the secret code name slots that I have allotted for the rest of the year have in fact sold out already. Okay, I will keep everybody on the channel posted as to whether or not or when they will continue in 2023. Okay, but for 2022, they have all sold out. So resonate and vibe away if you have not gotten one and purchased one yourself. But thank you to all of you that did. You make these events possible. So with that said, y'all, we are getting into the message. This is secret code name Dalmatian. And when I was shown the image of the Dalmatian, it definitely presented like a Dalmatian that works for a fire department. So that may have some literal significance for some of you. It's definitely going to have metaphorical significance, because this is like a go into the flames and rescue whatever needs to be rescued in there, right? Trying to save a life type thing. So, Dalmatian. Your main card out was the honey jar. The honey jar is all about that in life, which is sweet. It is also about what we covet, and that what guards what we covet stings. Okay? It is also about what stings and how that energy can be very erratic, okay, and unpredictable in its own predictability, right? Because you know when you start going for the gold, you start going for the sweetness, all that stings tends to activate and become unpredictable, right? There's swarm energy around the energy of the honey jar, okay? It's about what's sweet, what's oozing and dripping with golden, wonderful sweetness of life. And it's protected by swarming, chaotic, stinging things. Okay? So that is the energy of the honey jar. It came out with, from the energy alignment deck, 2 shadows. Tells you what they think you want to hear, dishonest, and paternal wounding. Now, paternal wounding also came out in sonar. So you may want to give sonar a listen. All right. If you're guided to do that, you might want to give sonar a serious listen, because we're dealing with paternal wounds. Now, tells you what they think you want to hear may in fact be the paternal wound in and of itself. All right, especially if you're a parent and you have kids, right? You may have a habit of telling your kids what you think they want to hear, versus just simply being honest, right? Like telling them everything's okay, everything's fine, we're going to work it out, when that's not true, right? Telling them one thing, but knowing it's not the truth. And you may have learned that from your father, because this is a paternal wound, not a maternal wound, right? You may have learned it from your father, that it's okay to lie to your kids and give them false belief or false hope or a false picture of the reality, instead of being honest with them, right? And, you know, there might be reasoning behind it. Well, maybe they're too young to understand. Maybe it's not their business. Maybe it's not their concern. Maybe you don't want to stress them out, right? Maybe there's a lot of reasons. But the fact of the matter is, you're teaching them to deny truth. And not just deny truth, but ignore truth or be ignorant to the truth. And that those things are not just acceptable, but okay and normal. It's normal to deny the truth. It's normal to pretend the truth isn't the truth. It's normal to just go about my life ignorant, pretending that everything is okay when it's not. You learned it from your dad. And now you're probably repeating it and rippling it out into your experience. And maybe not just with your kids, but with people in general, right? Especially if you don't have kids. You probably learned it from your dad and you're just doing it in general. But that is the main energy that is being addressed with this Phoenix rising, let's get you stronger than you ever were before energy, right? in order to get away from the ashes of what's energetically dead, right? What's energetically done, over, past, dead, then you have to be able to reinvent yourself and be better than anybody ever was, especially yourself, so that life can actually be sweet. And you are, in fact, what stings and is guarding what's sweet, instead of the outer experience kind of swarming you every time you go for the gold outside of yourself, right? It's about finding that sweet spot, that gold within the self, and coveting that nothing and no one would take it from you without a crazy, chaotic, energetic swarm of a fight. You know what I mean? To where you become and embody that honey jar energy. It's golden, it's valuable, it's sweet. Everybody wants it and wishes that they had it. You know what I mean? And not just letting people take your sweet shit, right? Not just taking the best of you away, the most valuable parts of you away. So, as we get into the tarot, the tops and bottoms of the deck, we have the 5 of Cups on top of the Hermetic Tarot and the 10 of Swords on bottom. And then we have the 2 of Swords on top of the Alchemy of England Tarot and the Queen of Swords on bottom. Now, these energies, the focus on top of the deck, the actual conscious mind, is the 5 of Cups and the 2 of Swords. So this is looking at the losses, what has been lost, what is being lost currently, what potentially could be lost, and being at a stalemate, right? Actually focusing on the losses is putting you in a stalemate position. Ultimately, it results in the 10 of Swords and the Queen of Swords. The 10 of Swords is self-sabotage, and the Queen of Swords is about the heart's truth. Focusing on the loss and being at a stalemate and telling yourself you don't know what to do, and so you're not doing anything. Looking at things black and white instead of taking the blindfold off and seeing the color of everything, right? You're sabotaging the heart's truth. Now, of course, I'm nosy. Y'all know I'm nosy. So I was digging on the bottoms of the decks. So the bottom of the Hermetic Tarot. Underneath the 10 of Swords is the Princess of Pentacles, then the 7 of Swords, the Foolish Man, the Universe, which is the World card, and the Queen of Swords. Self-sabotage comes from not creating or seizing, or both, creating or seizing an opportunity to expose the lies that have been told or that continue to be told, and to take a real leap of faith on closing a cycle, because the Queen of Swords has cut the head off the masculine energy, right, which is this giant head. It's this ego, okay? This wounded masculine energy, or the wounded actions, right? The actions that we take from a wounded place because they're not in alignment with the heart's truth and the heart's desire, the Queen of Swords. So, the bottom of the deck, the underlying issue, ultimately is asking you to please create a moment where you acknowledge the lies and take a leap of faith on closing that chapter of dishonesty, which is now a pattern, right? It's become a pattern. It's a shadow wound that is a major part of this reading. On the bottom of the Alchemy of England Tarot, below the Queen of Swords is the High Priestess, the 10 of Wands, the Lover's card, the 3 of Coin, the Death card, and the Queen of Pentacles. You know your heart's truth. And intuitively, the High Priestess, you already know that not being honest about the truth is creating a serious soul burden and keeping you bound to things that contractually must die. The contract has to end. You've got to be able to manifest what you desire. You know the truth, but you're not manifesting the truth. What you desire, right? What you honestly and truly desire. You're not manifesting it because you haven't taken that step yet. Expressing the truth of what your heart really desires. What you're going after. Why? The truth unspoken is creating the sabotage. And the sabotage is keeping you from manifesting what it is you honestly desire. If you are keeping something you desire a secret, that's in misalignment. If you are not acting on your truth, it is misalignment. You have to be able to express the truth, especially if you have kids. You have to be able to tell them the truth. No, things are not okay. It's not the way I want them to be. How things are is not what I want for myself. Is it what you want? What's your truth? Right? Actually having conversations that are honest. Do you like this environment? Do you like this person? Do you like living like this? Having honest conversations and letting them know that the truth is what really matters. You're not asking them so that they can tell you what they think you want to hear. You actually want to hear the truth. What is it that is truly desired? Because that's what's most important. That's what's most important. The true desire, the expression of that, the acknowledgement, instead of the denial of. Okay? That we're dealing with throat chakra blocks and heart chakra blocks with these energies. Denying the heart's truth is creating an energetic soul burden. It is keeping you bound to things that you don't actually want to be bound to, keeping you locked in soul contracts that need to end. Need to put a stake in it, need to put a fork in it, need to put a knife in it, sword in it, need to put a sword in it. You need to put the truth in it. It's done. And you've got to stop expressing the lie out loud and to yourself. Okay. So getting into the main spread, we've got the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Cups with the Six of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Strength card. Now, the Strength card comes out twice. And I just want to draw your attention to something really quick with these two Strength cards, okay? Because the one looks like she's emerging from the dragon. His skin is literally being ripped apart. It is stretched. It is covering on her arms. It is wrapped around her body. It is draping through her hair. Like, the skin of the dragon is being ripped apart and the eyes are closed of both her and the dragon. Okay, but she's emerging from the belly of the beast. Okay. That just so happens to be card number 11 in this specific deck. The Alchemy of England Tarot deck. All right. The other one from the Hermetic Tarot is a feminine, and she's petting the lion, but she has this cup of flames that she looks like she's about to beat the shit out of the lion with. And the lion is docile. The lion is calm. He's very gentle looking, and he's got this wound above his brow. So, I mean, the courage, essentially what the lion represents. The courage is already a little bit beaten up and bruised. But it's almost like this heart space, this feminine energy, is saying, no, these are my feelings, and trying to beat the shit out of their courage, right? That the emotions are chaotic like fire. It's not a cup of flowing water, which is love. It is a cup of fire, okay? A cup of fire. And it's about to beat the courage, okay? It's about to beat this lion. Like this lion is not harming anybody. It's not a threat to anybody. It's just sitting there minding its own business, trying to heal from its wounds as it is. And the feminine is petting the lion on the head like, it's okay. And then just beats the shit out of it. Like, listen, you can't, and if this has to do with the lies, right? To say everything is fine, and then boom, everything changes because, spirit, fire, right? Fire symbolically is spirit. It's like, boom, everything changes. And it's like, well, that's not what I anticipated. It's not what I expected. Everything is going away that, is shocking everybody. It's like, please take courage into consideration. Don't just surprise everybody with your cup of spiritual fire, okay? And expect them all to understand when their fur is on fire type shit. You know what I mean? It's bad enough they're bruised as it is. It's bad enough there's wounds already to courage or security within the self, right? Confidence. There's already issues there. Please do not tell it it's okay. Everything is fine. And then beat it over the head with some cup of fire and just say, no, this is how it is. Like, please consider courage as an option. Use the ancient wisdom from your past that has birthed you to who you are. Dragons and ancient wisdom, like, you experienced a lot of dark shit. Being born from the dragon, you experienced a lot of dark shit to obtain the wisdom that you have. If you did not surprise sprung on you, please do not do that to other people. Sit with your courage and have an honest conversation, a mature conversation. The Queen of Swords is tactful, exact, and precise with the truth. There is no need to tell your courage to take a back seat. You can find your courage and nurse it back to health and utilize that beautiful energy that you hold within. You can apply the wisdom from experience that you have, because wisdom don't mean shit unless it's applied. It is one of my quotes. Wisdom is nothing without application. You have to apply the wisdom that you have. It doesn't feel good to be lied to and then have stuff sprung on you. It doesn't feel good. And if it doesn't feel good, it's not a fuck yeah. And if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. If you wouldn't want someone to do it to you, if you don't appreciate when it's done to you, then don't do it to other people. This is the golden rule. We're talking about golden sweetness. Ooze and drip with the golden rule. Covet that shit. And do not let anybody take that golden rule away from you, including yourself. Including yourself. The strength cards, I had to point it out. Because 1 is the 11, and that's balance, that's self-mastery. Being born from the wisdom that shaped you in your understanding of what feels good and what doesn't. And 1 is an 8, which can be an infinite loop. Choose what strength energy you would like to embody. Apply wisdom. Please don't beat the shit out of your courage and surprise everybody with your cup of purging fire. Like tact. Tact. Use truth and tact with precision. Okay, allow yourself to be very honest and vulnerable so that things can actually work out sweet. Like give that a shot. Because when we break down the energies in their entirety, the 9 of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the King of Cups, like just those 3 cards alone, it's acknowledging the nightmare state inside the mind. The 9 of Swords in the Hermetic Tarot is a Mars and Gemini card. I shit you not. All right, it is a Mars and Gemini card. And you do, in fact, actually have it twice. It shows up with the Alchemy of England Tarot as well. So, Mars is actually in Gemini, right? It's about to go retrograde. It's going retrograde on the 31st in like a week. Which is, honest to God, this energy is perfect to face the reality and do things you coulda, shoulda, woulda done a long time ago. If you're dealing with nightmare mental scapes, if you're dealing with nightmare realities that are reflecting because of that mental scape, like now is a really good time to choose the victory and go on the journey, to put the lies in the past and allow yourself to apply that wisdom. All right, because the Ace of Swords, each of these is clarified by multiple different cards that are all blended together. The 9 of Swords was clarified by the 6 of Wands and the 3 of Wands, which is why it is excellent to be able to choose a victory on the journey, right? Being able to put those lies in the background with the 7 of Swords, that center sword facing backwards, and the Dragon Strength card, right, where she's being born of ancient wisdom. It's a great time to claim victory and move forward on your journey and leave the lies and the dishonesty behind, to leave the paternal wound behind. The Ace of Swords is then clarified by the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Cups with that Strength card, with the Dragon, and the following 3 Alchemy of England cards, which is the 9 of Swords, the Knave of Chalices, and the 5 of Pentacles. All right. This is asking you to use the truth, to wield the truth, to crown the truth, so that you do not miss opportunities to overflow love and nurturance on a very mental level, on a very spiritual level, on an energetic level, especially pertaining to wounded children, because the Knave of Chalices, knaves represent youth. Doesn't have to be a child, but it is definitely someone who is younger than you. It is a chance to show them compassion. It is a chance to show them that they don't need to be in a constant state of anxiety themselves, and they don't need to develop or feel like their home is being blown apart. It doesn't create an abandonment wound. It doesn't create an instability wound. It doesn't create this wound that says, I'm losing everything, right? Where there's no preparation with that other Strength card, because the King of Cups, clarified by the 4 of Cups, and that particular Strength card where she's about to beat the shit out of the lion. You're not mastering your emotions. Your snakes or your demons, especially with this particular King of Cups cards, is getting the best of you, and you are missing an opportunity to nurture. You are missing an opportunity to overflow water, to overflow love and nurturance. It's wonderful you got a whole lot of spirit, but there's a reason why there's 4 elements and that they all keep themselves in checks and balances. You know what I mean? You do not want to create anxiety in the minds of youth that need compassion so that they don't feel like they are losing their whole world. It gives them time to digest the truth. All right. This is what these cards are talking about. You would have much more appreciated someone being honest with you and getting real with you and speaking on a level that you could, in fact, understand, instead of just putting you in the wounded state you're still dealing with as an adult. Like, don't ripple that. You know, like, don't ripple it. If you've been rippling it for however long now, like, that is what it is. Please leave the past dishonesty behind and move forward with truth and integrity and love and nurturance. You know, like, move forward with new energy and allow that ripple to start healing things. Allow that ripple to start healing things. Because the child, the Knave of Chalices, the youth, it is this demonic looking half stone creature carrying the cross. The cross is the burden that you left unhealed. What you do not heal, your children are destined to heal. You are literally saying, I can't heal this, your turn. And you're passing the cross you bear onto your children. I'm not strong enough to heal it. I'm weak. I don't have courage. Maybe you can find it. I couldn't heal this, so yeah, your turn. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. That's what your cards are addressing. This new moon in Scorpio, this solar eclipse, you've got to get really deep into your intuition and eclipse the fuck out of your ego that wants to do things a certain way, that is avoiding doing things a certain way, because there is truly a right and a wrong way to do things. And you already know what the right way and the wrong way is because you experienced one. You experienced it. How old were you when you knew and felt you could understand as a youth? That you would have understood. If someone said to you, hey, this is how things are. I know that, you know, you don't understand what it's like to be me or what it's like to be them. But if you can understand that being in pain and suffering and being stressed out doesn't feel good and being in high anxiety all the time doesn't feel good, then you can at least understand why I'm making the choice that I'm making. Because that's how I feel. And I don't want to spring something on you or surprise you with something and have your whole world shatter after I lied to you the whole time and said everything was fine, and you were believing the lie. Like, I'm respectful enough of you. I respect you enough to be honest with you. And this is what the reality is. And this is what I'm desiring to choose. This is what I'm looking to manifest. Right? In words that they will understand. Because they will. Because they will. So getting into your guidance cards. The divine conversation with spirit, right? That you may be missing in your mirror of things. We have, you know, they are thinking of you too. Whatever differences there are can be worked out. What's meant for you is meant for you. Stop thinking you screwed it all up. Life, relationships, love, finances, you didn't screw it up. You created opportunities to learn, and now you must seize alignment and grow. Who and what are you making excuses for? Why? If you don't be honest with yourself about them, you'll become them. Spirit is letting you know that you can, in fact, create this opportunity, right? If we go back and flash back into the vibrations underneath the bottoms of the decks, you can, in fact, create and seize an opportunity. You didn't screw everything up. You created learning opportunities for yourself, and that's wisdom that you can apply. Whoever you've been thinking of, especially if you do have children or you know who the youth is, you have to understand they're thinking of you, and whatever differences there are between you and them with the past can in fact be worked out. You have to look at who or what you are making excuses for. Because if you don't be honest with yourself about them, then you'll become them. If who they are is not okay and not acceptable, and you're making excuses for them, then who you are is not okay and not acceptable. You're no better than they are. You're no better than they are. Just because you're different doesn't mean you're better. You're just wounding in a different way. You're just wounding people in a different way than them. So Spirit is having this conversation with you. You are too close to quit now. Evolve. Detach from that old energy. Detach from your old self. Allow yourself to rise like the phoenix and be reborn from the ashes of who you were, stronger than you have ever been. Do not quit on your evolution. Do not let your courage take a back seat. Do not have all of this wisdom and not apply any of it. Treat other people the way you would want to be treated. Ooze that beautiful golden energy. Be honest. Allow your energy to be abundant. Allow your heart to heal and overflow love and nurturance, compassion, truth and honesty. Get real with yourself so that you can get real with the people that really do need you to get real with them. Ask them to get real with you. Ask them what their truth is. Listen. Listen to them. Hear the words that they're saying. And start making the right move so that you don't feel at a stalemate. So that you're not focused on all of the losses, but you can actually start focusing on the gains. So you can actually get out of the nightmare and go back and redo things the right way. So that you can make these corrections to the reality and the minds and hearts that have been wounded in the process, including your own. All right? And that's the message. I love you very much. And I will see you next time. Bye.